Japan is famous for vending machines with interesting things, and sometimes you find really old vending machines that don't function anymore that have extra interesting things. And this is a battery vending machine from pre-war or something. I don't think it's quite that old, but this is not, it's not with us anymore. It's just a artifact. And I'm actually kind of impressed that the batteries haven't just oozed. Like, I wonder if maybe those aren't real batteries.
They're metal for sure.
It says 2 batteries were 280 yen. Those are like D-ish size. And the double A-ish sizes are 4 for 280 yen. We can get them cheaper at the Hyakuen shop now.
So all of the residential probably has to go somewhere where they can get food or do a little bit of shopping, and it feels like we've kind of hit an area that is just a strip of shopping, and surrounding it is all residential, because we walked for a good 45 minutes and what I felt we didn't see anything that was like purchasable except for land, and we're not looking to buy that. So we have found where they will go and do shopping and stuff. There's like a hobby shop here. Wow. So,
and batteries.
It's getting bumping up here in Sumida-Ku, the northern area. Godzilla! He has a microphone! Oh no, it's a walkie-talkie. I have a slight obsession. It looks so stupid. Where'd he get the walkie-talkie from, and what's he gonna do with it? Just burn it with his mouth?
No, who's on the other end?
Somebody's gonna get their face burnt off when the plane goes through. This is something that we haven't seen in a long time. When we lived in Kumagaya, we had to stop at this like all the time, to the point where we'd get stuck at traffic lights where trains are going this way and that way, and we'd start making bets on which side was gonna come first. It was really dumb at this one intersection in Kumagaya, but haven't seen this in a while. And a train just went by, so we're waiting for one coming from the other direction now. We might be really, really far north.
But they have this like in Shibuya, like, right? Isn't
Where?
there one, you used to have to ride past it when you used to wander around the
Yeah, that one's
house.
so stupid.
It's not too weird to have this in the middle of the city.
I guess it's not too weird, but
do some waiting.
I'm gonna do some waiting.
As quickly as it came, it left. We're back into residential town.
Yep. Obviously, I didn't forget about the gods of good luck. So we've gone to the last shrine. We're going to find our 7th god. I'm going to seal my good luck for, I'm just going to assume it'll ride out till 2020. Like, that's how I feel it's going to work. And we've already hit a bit of good luck before even finding that 7th stamp. Check this out. I didn't think out this shot at all, but it's stamp time. Okay, so it's sideways like that. Stamp, stamp, stamp. Oh yeah.
Check, see, let's see your 7. You gotta prove it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 7.
You're not counting that. You had a stamp from something else. You're not counting that, are you?
Ooh, from the Seki Museum. Yeah. 8 is extra good luck. I think the best one probably is this little Shika, although the gourd is pretty good. The rest of them, mega lucky.
Reenactment?
Gotta get the tongue.
Is there a tongue? Mm-hmm. Oh god. Nightmare material. Make him feel at home. His eyes are crazy. It's all these colors. It's like a marble, like in more of a way than normal. Bye, kitty. It's a big cat, yo. It's like a tiger. I feel like that cat has like a demon in it. Its eyes are, I don't know how to explain it. It's very weird looking. Katie made a pretty good observation. Maybe that cat's blind, and that's why its eyes look kind of weird.
Yeah, it was.
It acted kind of weird, but then it walked around a bicycle and it like walked right along the edge of it, like it knew where it was. So I don't know. But, oh, maybe it was using its feelers on its face to know that the bicycle was there.
They have the whiskers.
That's right. Yeah.
And they also have the I live here and this is my stuff.
Yeah, but the bicycle moves.
You know to duck before you go through the door.
Not always. I hit my head all the time.
You do hit your head all the time. And I bet that cat also roughs himself up.
It's true.
So we're basically just gonna follow this train line. We'll hit the end of this ku, Sumida-Ku, the northernmost part, and we're going to jump into AdachiKu, which is gigantic. It looks huge. But we're only going into there because it's the closest train station. So we'll be hopping over into Adachi and then heading right back down south into Sumida-Ku, and we're gonna take the train south. There's another cat.
Oh, there is?
Yes. It looks very... It's gonna eat a butterfly.
No, it's gonna eat a snake.
It's gonna eat a snake.
That's a snake.
Oh, this is gonna be... Eric. Get out of the way, let that cat do its thing. Cat's scared. Cat doesn't know what to do. It's a snake.
I'm filming a nature documentary.
This is a great story of fear. We saw the cat, so happy about the cat. Then we saw the snake, I was scared. You went over to the snake, I was still scared. Then the cat decided that it needed to know more about the snake, went over there. Then the cat, you noticeably figured out, was scared of the snake, but yet still toying with it. Curious, but yet frightened. And then the snake's totally scared of the cat, so the snake's making a move, and then you're continuing down the road, and I see that the snake's coming close, and I'm getting a little frightened that you and the snake are gonna make friends soon. And then the train goes by, and the cat is freaked out, and the cat runs.
Oh, the cat ran away because of the train?
Because of the train.
Ah, I didn't see why the cat left. I sort of just assumed that the snake left the cat's area and the cat just gave up. But if the train came, that makes more sense.
I think the cat knows that the train is not a nice thing to be friends with.
Well, it's big and scary.
Yeah.
And I mean, if
So
he's afraid of the little snake and it's long and skinny, think about that train. It's long and skinny and way bigger.
It was fixated on the snake, so it took a moment for the pound of the train to really wake the cat up too. It doesn't matter if you're in this little dream world with your first snake, you need to just not be in this area.
The cat, and I don't know how close you got to the cat or whatever, but the cat was very timid about the way. It was like just tapping the snake's tail. The snake is a tail. Take a tap in the back of the snake, and the snake was like obviously not cool with it. But I'm kind of happy that I didn't just watch a cat and a snake have a battle to the death.
Yeah,
because I have no idea. I don't know about Japanese snakes. I know there's poisonous snakes was that one poisonous? I don't know.
It was really long.
That was a big snake. It was like a meter and a half.
It wasn't as long as your wingspan.
I would say it was a meter and a half.
I think it might have been my wingspan, but not your wingspan.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It could have been
Maybe
like
a little
5.5
bit
foot or something like that.
But yeah, that was bigger than I was. That's no size of snake is good.
And this also makes me think about people who film nature documentaries. I just filmed 2 animals, and not only the balls, but the technicality behind it of having the right lens to go. You don't know where it's gonna go, to be able to zoom. Couldn't get a good enough zoom on it. I wanted to zoom deeper, but I couldn't because I don't have the right lens. There's so much complexity that would go into the unpredictability-ness of filming something like that. So I'm gonna just stick with filming us because I know what we're gonna do most of the time. You're kind of a loose cannon.
This little canal actually connects Sumida-Gawa and the Arakawa Gawa. Nope. Just rivers. So these are the two rivers that create the border for Sumida. I got you, apparently. I'm not very smart. So those are the two borders that create Sumida. And we are now at the top. This canal, this way, divides Sumida on my side to Eric's side, which is Adachi. And we're gonna go over to Adachi and catch a train. I was curious whether it was gonna work.
We're not that far in the country.
Look, I had to go over to another side of this whole structure to get into it, so I'm feeling a little bit like, this is a bit antiquated. They didn't even like create a set of stairs for me to go over inside the station.
The next station is Kikifune.
The frog on Google told us that it's supposed to rain around 4 o'clock, so that cloud is looking a little bit ominous. And we came to the eastern side of Sumida-Ku. There actually wasn't any attraction over here that pulled us. It's seeming pretty residential. Right now we're kind of close to the station, so as stations do, there's going to be things around them. One thing that isn't around, or at least isn't open at the moment, is where we wanted to go for fika. They do something called vegetable candy, and that's essentially like dried vegetables that they've coated in sugar, which looked amazing, but since it's closed, we won't be able to go there. We're gonna take a little walk around this area, and then we'll be heading over somewhere else with less sweet dreams.
At the moment, it is fall in Japan, and the way you know that it's fall in Japan is because the hot drinks start to show up. And I just walked past this vending machine, and I always glance at them to see is there something in there maybe I haven't had before, something interesting. And I saw something interesting, and this is a maple Meruku Seki. And I want you to think about that. It's sort of like a bastardization of an English word. And I want you to take that sound in and see if you can figure out what that means, because I honestly have never seen this word before, and I had to look it up. Like, what the hell are they trying to say? And it's hot, which really throws you off. It's really hot, actually. So it's maple Miruku Seki. I'll give you a hint. Miruku is milk. Seki. Miruku Seki, hot. Maples, milkshake. What? I don't know. This is blowing my mind. Why is it? It's very hot. I am having a hard time. So, it does specifically say on here that it uses Canadian maple syrup. And we all know that that's the best export in Canada. Next to that band. What's that band called?
Bieber?
No, I was thinking of the damn band. What's the good band?
Alanis?
Yeah. No.
Bare Naked Ladies?
It's the punk band that's so good. Oh, fuck, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's driving me crazy. It's a bit watery, but it is. I mean, it's really sweet. It sort of just tastes like caramel, to be honest. Like I'm just drinking a caramel drink.
That is one of the biggest insults you can ever say to Canada. Your maple syrup is caramel.
It's more like, it kind of tastes like a Werther's original melted in some hot water.
Now you're saying it's butterscotch? Oh man.
Yeah, butterscotchy caramel. I don't know. It's okay. Give it a try. We didn't have any sweets, so I'm saving the day.
That's maple syrup. Like I just drank Aunt Jemima. And
Is she Canadian?
That's also an insult to maple syrup because that's just pancake syrup. Let's just say this is not hitting the maple note.
Kitty saved the day too. The band that I'm trying to think of is Pup, if anybody's curious. They're awesome. Check them out. We found a sweet treat, and we found a pretty cool view of the sky tree. However,
we're gonna enjoy it, not you.
if we stand like that, we're just in the dark because of the sun is a difficult thing to contend with lighting. So we spun around, and it's not too bad back there, but our view is pretty poppin'. I'll tell you that right now. The sweets that we found are just some things like from a little Japanese confectionery store that we just wandered by, and it was open.
Yeah, there was a little bell there to ring, and right as I was about to put my finger on it, the lady came.
And it just seems like something that somebody kind of runs out of the front of their house. Their house just happens to be on a street that a lot of people walk up and down, so that's what they got. Yeah. And you got a bean Daifuku, right? And you said, they asked the lady what she recommended, and she went straight for it.
What's the recommended thing? And she pointed right at this, so I was like, all right,
it's like
with that.
I think that's, Daifuku is like a mochi thing, right? And then they put beans in it. I think that's how you do it.
Yeah.
And I got a dorayaki, and it is like sweet beans, like red sweet beans, with 2 pancakes on the outside of it. It's one of my favorite little Japanese sweets. And what are we gonna do? This is Sumida-Ku?
To Sumida-Ku.
Bam. Do you think she
Side note, I dropped it on the ground already.
You flicked the bugs off, it's okay.
Cool. It's got more beans inside.
Do you think that she makes all this there?
I find it strange to think that somebody's making dango things and that at the same time.
This was in a little package.
Yeah, yours had a little special wrapper that I could see maybe her buying that from somewhere else and just serving it. But this seemed homemade. Especially
yeah, you're right.
the way it was
The way
displayed.
it was wrapped, yeah. How is it?
Very good.
Have a bite?
Oh, you ate the bug.
It's alright. It's good. It's exactly what you've had before. They're not super duper sweet. For somebody, if you've never had...
But I dropped all the powdered sugars on the ground.
Is it powdered sugar on the outside? Mm-hmm. It's not even that like punchy or sweet.
Well, no, it's not.
No.
It tastes like flour.
Yeah. I don't think it's powdered sugar. But the beans are a little bit sweet. The rest of it is fairly neutral. It's almost like it's more about the texture and just like the experience of sitting down and like munching on something. You'd usually have this with like tea or something, and it would help like with a strong green tea, kind of like balance that flavor out and stuff. So that's the usual thing, but I just like pancakes, so here we are.
I go now? No. Okay. All right, so I'm like one of those kids that never had the Crystal Pepsi, okay? I never had it. And Eric just asked me, do you think it's the same? I was like, I wouldn't know if it was the same. So I've never really had a dark drink like Coke, or like, I don't know if Coke ever did any clearness. Doesn't really smell the same.
How is this
but this
branded?
is also
Next to?
Yeah, next to.
What happened to the next one?
It's to the next level.
Why are they only stopping at 2 then? Is it terrible? It's 0 calorie.
It's all right. It's just a video of me watching you drink.
It's bad.
Yeah. This
It just tastes like soda with no soda in it. You know what I mean? Like
it tastes like the end of a slushie where it's more sweet than it should be. I like the end of a slushie. There's a park in Sumida-Ku that stretches for kilometers, at least kilometers, maybe 10. I don't.
There's not nowhere near that. Maybe 2.
2. I was yeah, good point. We're starting that over.
Music.
Weird. We do live on the cusp of a 4:30 and a 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Weird. So apparently here in whatever area we are of Sumida-Ku, the 5 o'clock music plays at 4:30. Don't really know when that changes, but that has changed, and Eric almost lost his jacket. We're standing in a very long vertical park. And I say vertical because when you're looking at it on a map from north to south, it is just a long stretch. It's not very wide at all. It follows this little stream that you see here. And you might be wondering, like, why are all these nets here? What is this situation? This is actually a little fishing area that they have I don't know if the fish are swimming into it and are just living the most unlucky life ever, or if they're bringing the fish from other places who are also living the most unlucky life ever. But the fish get put into this part of the stream, and people come here. I don't know if you pay to sit and fish. I imagine you do, because there's a guy over there that's taking care of it. And people sit here and just fish in like direct sunlight for hours. It looks like kind of the most miserable thing ever. I like fishing, and I like fishing like on a boat out in the water. Like really, if it's all sunny, it makes sense because like you're on a boat and it doesn't have amazing like coverage. Here, it's just, why would you do that to yourself? Like, just play a fishing game on the Nintendo. Like, you can be at home. Anywho, this park is not the greatest park in the world because there's really nowhere to sit that's comfortable, just like the park we were at earlier today. But it's a nice, good stroll. A definite good stroll, and it cuts from where we live all the way down to one of the most popular shopping areas in Sumida-Ku. Don't think we'll be going to the shopping center because it's a big old copy and paste of Japan that doesn't really need to... You'll find it because it's a copy paste. We're gonna go to some other interesting places. And hopefully we're going to find the one thing I marked on the map in this place. And you will be surprised that we have never found it before. Let's find it. I was really hoping to see a Seiko clock out here, but I don't think we will. I don't know why Seiko hasn't tried to make some sort of deal with the Ku. Like, I helped you be a Ku. I brought you industry. Couldn't even install any of their clocks anywhere.
Well, the one we saw was wrong.
True. I couldn't trust a goddamn one of those clocks. This is why we came here. I saw this slide from space. And I thought to myself, wow, should probably go and do that slide. I'm watching these kids because roller slides are really hit and miss. Either they are the most lubricated rollers and you might die, or they're really rusty and you wondered why somebody was allowing this to continue where it sits. Because if it's a bad slide, you should just take it down or really treat it good. You shouldn't just leave it there. You're making kids' childhoods terrible. So we're gonna watch some kids see how they go and whether it's worth it. Also, side note, not pedos. I'm getting mixed feelings here because people are doubling up, and when you double up on a slide, unless like you really commit to going fast together, you're just gonna go really slow. And I don't know about these kids' commitment to speed. Do I need to hold some sort of like class about sliding, like how to use the slide properly? Because those kids, like, they got on the slide and it was almost as though, how slow can you go on the slide?
I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because the mom is saying this is the last one, we gotta go home. So if the kids can make the last slide last 5 minutes, even though it's supposed to take 5 seconds, they just get to stay out longer. That's what's going on. And the mom's like, come on, let's go. And the kids are going as slow as they possibly can.
They're sticking their
like
legs
anti-gravity is starting to happen.
Yeah, it's almost going backwards. I'm just sitting there going, I'm willing to try this slide if it's worth it, but you kids are really, one, they're taking forever, so that means I'm just sitting there waiting, and 2, they're making it look not fun.
It's not a good
really
sell
not
for them.
Fun, so.
Their priorities are not marketing the slide though. Their priorities are absolutely, look, I got really dark. Their priorities are, we're gonna wait a second here and then it's gonna get brighter.
It smells like man in here. Cologne.
Inari Zushi. Look at this dog. Looks like Mop.
Wow.
Sugoi.
Nice dog.
We're back. A dog just walked by. It looked like a mop.
Eric, strong dog's gonna bite me. We just saw this dog and he was really buff, and Eric was like, yeah, he's really buff. And I said like, oh yeah, he goes to the gym. And gym dog just barked at me and like looked at me like I was his bitch. And I was.
We were talking about the slide. I don't even remember. The kids, so they're not marketing slide. Their priority is not slide marketing. Their priority is staying up
on the slide.
Late as possible. They can get 5 more minutes. What are we going to do right now? We're just walking south.
Yep.
All right.
That's where you gotta go when you're in Sumida-Ku, because that's where the cool things are. They're south. Right. We've been to the north.
The north was...
The north, well, there was a cat fighting a snake or like going after us, so pretty good. Been hoofing it for a little while now, but look, Skytree. Sorry, I like doing that. On this side, actually, we've started to hit what I'm calling civilization. What I mean by that is just shops and buildings. This gigantic building behind me, you can tell that it is for business. It's not for people to live in. So we're no longer in residential. You're not seeing people's clothes hanging out of it. There aren't like single individual air conditioners or anything like that. That's business is happening up in there. And we're just gonna go a little bit further south, and I think things are gonna get bigger and louder and lots more trains and things like that.
What's behind me is the Tokyo Edo Museum. I've actually never been inside of it, but every time I see it, I'm like, well, that's an iconic, bizarre looking building, and it's very difficult to properly video, like to find the right angle. Like you would need to climb up under the roof of one of the buildings nearby to really understand what you're looking at. It looks kind of like a divine beast from Zelda or one of those walker things from Star Wars. It's this huge like camel shaped thing that's up on these 4 legs, and it's just very, I can't even begin to think what they were going for when they came up with the way this thing is shaped, but it is extremely distinct looking, and I wouldn't call it like an icon of Tokyo because I don't think most tourists like think of this place when they think of Tokyo or whatever, but if you live around here and you've walked past it, you have definitely looked at it and been like, what the hell were they thinking?
Another kind of silhouetted iconic building in the area is obviously the Sumo Stadium in Ryogoku. It is an amazing looking building when you get to get up close, but as sumo is not happening right now and it is later in the evening, people are guarding it, you can't go up close to it, but the shape of it is really iconic and cool. We have been to sumo before and we have a video of that. It's an incredible experience. We've also gone to see pro wrestling in this building, which was another different kind of experience and equally as fun. Like, anything that's happening in this building is basically fun. So we came to this area not for this building. Obviously we want to see what's going on in the southwestern part. Yes, the southwestern part of Sumida-Ku. And what I want to try here is Chunko Nabe, which is the food of the gods of sumo. And we're gonna see if we can have that tonight. We're gonna hunt around the area and see what's available for that type of food.
As we are just down the street from the sumo arena, and this is a neighborhood where you literally will see sumo dudes like walking around in like yukata, and they have their hair like, you know, the sumo hair, and when they're just like going around doing their shopping and stuff, they are still often dressed just like that. And I mean, you can tell who they are too, just by the size of them. And it's pretty cool to just kind of wander across that, like when you're, you know, just buying your groceries and there's like a sumo dude. Like, it's pretty chill. And they've got some statues that are lining the street that go along the street that the sumo arena is on, and these are sumo champions or dudes that have, you know, done well in their careers. And this particular one has got, his belly is kind of like, you know, leaning out, and you can see that it's a little discolored because everybody's coming along and rubbing his belly, I'm assuming for good luck. And also on here, they have got a handprint of his. And I always think this is funny because sumo dudes are big, right? But I am bigger, at least in this dimension.
As with every planning thing that I do, I can kind of remember like the first activity or the first type of food that I mark with a star. Like, I definitely want to do that and see that. And this grave that's sitting right here, I definitely wanted to come here. And it took us a little bit to get into the graveyard. We ended up at a gate that had a lock on it, and we had to walk around and try and feel like we might have to break into the graveyard, but it's Japan. The graveyards are just open at nighttime. This grave in specific is quite interesting because it marks Nezumi Kozo's grave. And Nezumi Kozo was a thief long, long ago. He was caught in Edo, and they tattooed him, they banished him. But somehow he got back into Edo, and he started burglarizing samurai. He got like 100 samurai and stole things from them, and he got caught again. They paraded him tied to a horse, and they cut off his head, and they created this grave for him. But there's something special about this grave. It doesn't look nice, it doesn't look neat, his name's not etched in it. But what people are doing are they are chipping away at the grave, stealing a little bit of his grave every time they come by. And that's kind of cool to think about, stealing from a thief for the rest of existence. Like, he may not be here anymore, but we're stealing from you now. It's kind of creepy. And it turns out that this stone has actually been replaced 3 or 4 times because people come by and chip at it. It's a really cool story that I've never heard anything like it, and I'm really happy we got into this little graveyard. One more tidbit, just to give this a little more context. Nezumi means mouse or rat.
Hi, kitty.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's a nubber. He has a little nub.
Got the nub?
Stubby nubber. Oh, he's not into it.
We found Chunko Nabe, and we have come to a restaurant that's called Chunko Chaya, and it is run by a sumo family. And am I looking really fogged up there? Yeah, I was. We've got a good boil going for our soup, which is a salt flavor. This place has 5 different flavors that you can get, but we chose the salt flavor because it comes with chicken, and we were most interested in that. This is a minced chicken that looks like it's got some scallions in it, and we're supposed to take that and make little balls out of it. So I've been looking forward to that the most. That's a ball. And another ball. We also got more chicken, just regular chicken, and this is the big chopsticks that say they can touch raw meat. So we're tossing those in. Most of the dishes also included vegetables, which we were told to put those in last. So we're gonna get all the meat in there, and then we'll let that simmer and boil for a little while until we feel like it's safe to eat, and then we'll add our vegetables. At this point, we really don't know how to treat vegetables, so we're just gonna put stuff in the order that we think takes the longest to cook. So longest to cook first, mushroom. Other mushroom. Micro mushrooms, and I'm gonna flake those out a little bit. Negi. Fried tofu. Carrots. Bamboo. Gobo. So burdock. People call that burdock. Cabbage is really hard when I know that I could just get to a point where I could pour all of it in there. I really feel like it takes carrots a long time to cook, like longer than everything else, so I'm gonna get all those in there. And I'm going to put the tofu in there now, because I want that to sop up as much flavor as possible. And what remains is daikon. Glass noodles, I guess? They look quite clear, and obviously a buttload of cabbage. And we special ordered some udon on the side. It doesn't come with like what we ordered. And I'm interested to find out what the price for this will be in the end. We think that it's going to be 5,000 for this batch, and then 300 for that. So we're expecting to leave here 5,300 for our Chunko Nabe. Underneath the glass noodles, we found this little wiggly guy. Oh, he doesn't wiggle as much. There we go. I'm getting that television wiggle. Yeah, konnyaku is some sort of weird vegetable thing. Ours doesn't look like the picture. The picture looks really amazing, and ours just looks like we threw some cabbage on top of a bowl of something.
I have got my little dish of my nabe, and I'm pretty excited because it's actually a bit cold out right now, and it's actually a little cold in here. And this looks just like really good after all the walking we've done and everything. And we found this little container of yuzu, which is like a citrus, and I am going to put some yuzu in there because I think the yuzu is going to go quite well with the salty broth that this comes with. And jump in, I am so happy. Go with some chicken. I mean, it's just exactly what you think. Every culture has got something that's similar to this, like you got a stew going. That's exactly what we got. We got a stew going, and it is with like some pretty prime ingredients. The thing that this is for is like sumo wrestlers eat this apparently quite a lot to bulk up. It makes them huge. And I could see how getting down on this would totally be one of those things, especially when you start like throwing like rice and noodles and like all this chickens and all this nonsense in here. I'm very happy. What was your favorite bit of the Chunko nabe?
Where you said that tofu is good. Because that's shocking.
I don't usually like get down on tofu, but it was really good actually. The texture was really spot on.
My favorite bit was the mushrooms. They were really flavorful. Like the mega mushrooms, not the mini mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's shiitake.
I think that I really like the meatballs. They had some flavoring in there. Yeah, you rolled them yourself. Yeah. And the second thing that I just really like is putting the yuzu into the soup. Was really good. Like you had mentioned that the soup by itself has not got that much, but once you add that yuzu,
you only needed to add like a little sprinkle, and it's
it's explosive.
Whole world changed.
And after walking around all day and being cold and stuff, that is like
I'm warm at the core right now.
Yeah, sublime meal. So that is the end of the Sumida-Ku. Actually, no, it's not. We're gonna have one more video. Let's go home. We got to show off our neighborhood trinket.
I have no idea what you're talking about. All right. We're back home.
What are you doing up there?
I'm being tall.
Katie's standing on a bench. The trinket that I wanted to show off was just...
Oh, look, Skytree.
Look, Skytree. Yeah, they light it up at night, and it's really cool looking, and it'll be different colors sometimes based on different events that are going on.
And sometimes it has stupid doodles that are going across the end.
Yeah, they've started projecting things onto it. It's kind of lame.
It looks really lame.
But the colors and stuff that they do is really cool. And like for different like countries' Independence Days or whatever and stuff, they'll put up different colors, or the different things that are going on in Japan, there'll be different colors.
And even on each day, at different times, it does different things. So like it does the dazzle until a certain time, and then it stops doing the dazzle and does that thing.
Whatever it's doing now.
Standard color. And then after 12, it just does the light around.
Yeah. And it is actually right, like when we walk out of our building where we live in, it's right there. So you see it every time you walk out the door. It's really, really quite something.
And most of the time we're just like, that's not real.
And I'm really happy it sort of follows you around. Honestly, you can see it from the other side of the city in some places, but it really follows you around Sumida-Ku.
we were in northern Sumida-Ku today, and you were like, yeah, I wonder if we'll see the Skytree from here. And I was like, dude, you can see the Skytree from Shinjuku. What are you talking? Sometimes I thought we could see it from Takao one time.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Yeah,
so big.
It's looming over us, the city, everywhere.
It was fun, though, today, because we have lived here for about a year, and we still were able to go into areas and find things that we've never seen before, and doing these, like, ward videos, just getting to explore specific areas, even if they aren't superbly noteworthy, is a lot of fun. You learn things about the area that you live in and stuff.
Oh, and there were so many things today that I marked down like we're coming back here.
Yeah.
We found like a fruit sandwich that had whipped cream. Yeah.
Looks pretty good. So yeah, and now we've got a list of more things that we get to check out. Do you have anything that stuck out today specifically that you really, really enjoyed?
Oh, I think both of us very much enjoyed the grave.
Yeah.
That was just,
Yeah.
it's a very cool story,
Yeah.
and it's something fun of like, the secondary thing that I thought about that is a really great way, that's a really great way to teach children not to steal, because you take them there and you say, if you steal, people are going to sit here and chip away at your grave even when you're not around. They're going to think bad things of you, so you shouldn't steal.
Yeah,
and
but
I thought
I don't know.
that's
I don't know how many
genius.
4-year-olds are thinking about their grave, though.
Look, but 8-year-olds, maybe.
Anything else stick out?
Nah,
Just stealing from the dead, dude.
just stealing from the dead.
Rock on. Lots of fun. Let's go in. It's cold.
Yes.
So you can end up on the other side of me over here. Because we're going to spin like, I'm going to go like
Got
that.
it.
Okay.
Thank you for showing me that.
Come on.
Help us keep these videos coming by supporting us on Patreon or PayPal. Both are linked below. If you missed the first part of this video, it's also linked below with all their social media accounts. Liking, subscribing, and commenting helps too.